And welcome back, YouTube. It is still Sunday evening, October 16th, 5:46 p.m. Yeah, I guess video of my walk down Thomas was just not meant to be. First one cut off because I didn't have space on my Obama phone. Second one cut off because the iPhone ran out of juice. So, as you see, I'm back in my car. I want to say I got to my car at about 5:30-ish. Car was safe and sound in front of the hideaway, as I kind of figured it would be. Wow, there's a truck there on the left, parked right in the bike lane. Real classy. I'm having one of those moments where there's always a Circle K on the way, except when there isn't. I really want to get my sip and save drink for the day. I'm thirsty. I haven't really had anything to drink since I woke up, and I just seem to be going down the exact wrong streets that get me to a Circle K. I did pass one on the left at 24th Street and Indian School, but yeah, it was on the south. Yeah, and I know that one's there too. It's on the. She's cute. It's on the southeast corner, and I was headed westbound at Indian School, which just made that entirely too difficult to get into. So I think I'm headed over to Osbar. At this point in time, it just doesn't make any sense to go home. I mean, I'd be getting home pretty much in time to just turn around and head back out again. So it just seems pointless to waste the time and the gas backtracking to go home, just to turn around and leave. I was actually thinking about going into Hideaway and getting myself a burger and a Coke and just kind of chilling there. Figured it'd be nice to, throw them some business, since they basically safely stored my car overnight while I was really in no shape to be driving it. But I totally forgot. It's Sunday, and this time of the year in the United States, at most bars, Sunday equals football. So yeah, I'm just absolutely, that's a crowd I tend to kind of avoid. I find myself getting very rattled by large groups of people yelling at TV screens. I mean, I guess if they just sat there and talked quietly and there was music on and people watched the game, I'd feel differently about it. I'm not opposed to football per se, but yeah, I just find it very distressing to be around a whole lot of people that are yelling, and period, but particularly yelling at TV screens that can't hear them. It just seems one of those completely asinine human behaviors to me. So on that note, yeah, I just grabbed my car and headed out. Fortunately, yeah, at Osbar, gay men don't seem to be as into football, and they've got karaoke on there. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they had some football games on some of the screens, but they'll have them muted, which is the way I prefer to watch football, not hear somebody yammering, two people yelling on the screen, and then a whole bunch of other people yelling at the screen. That's what bothers me. Anyway, I did manage to find a Circle K that was conveniently on the way, so I'm going in to get my drink, and I shall be right back. Well, that was interesting. So it's 5:55 p.m. I still got a little time to go to Osbar. Me as well. I'm probably only going to get one song and drink a Coke and bounce. Yeah, I don't feel like drinking anything alcoholic right now. I did more than enough of that on Friday and Saturday. Although I did do it well into Sunday morning, if you want to get technical about it. But it was nice to actually have some beers at my place, to actually have somebody come over. As embarrassingly messy as my place is, it made me feel a little more connected to the world, and a little less of a loner and an outsider. So yeah, the trip inside Circle K was kind of weird. As I mentioned before, Circle K's been putting these self-checkout machines in, but they're completely different than everybody else's self-checkout machines. Instead of the typical self-checkout machine where you swipe everything over the barcode and put it in a bag by a pile and then haul it out, since generally people at Circle K are just buying a couple of items for convenience and in a hurry, they got a platform with a bunch of optical sensors that you put your stuff on, and it's supposed to see what the stuff is, visually recognize it, and then give you your total. And then you've got you can swipe your card or put the bills in the bill acceptor, or the change in the change acceptor, and whatever. Yeah, I tried using those when they first came out just to see what they were like. The deal breaker for me initially was that those machines wouldn't let me pay with my EBT card. And at that time, most of the time I was popping into Circle K, I would be using my EBT card and my SNAP benefits, aka food stamps, to pay for whatever food items I could. I have long since run that balance completely dry, and not only have I run that balance completely dry, but I don't qualify for those benefits anymore. I make too much money, so, which is a good problem. I'm certainly not going to deliberately reduce my income so I can still get food stamps. Although, to be fair, I do understand why some people do that to maintain government health care benefits. That makes sense to me. But yeah, to do that to keep food stamps, to me, is just completely nonsensical. Although food costs is going through the roof, so I do kind of wish I still got them. But anyway, but I digress. So yeah, that was the initial deal breaker for me with that. I did have one other time that I tried to use it to get my Sip and Save drink, and it didn't give me any kind of a prompt or anything to put in my phone number to get my Sip and Save drink. So I was just determined to charge me for the drink. So I ended up having to take my stuff off of it and go to a cashier anyway. Anyway, what just happened here at Circle K was a completely different experience that I haven't had before. The cashier was behind two of those new kiosks, and they've installed more at that Circle K there, which I think was 7th Street in Missouri. And she's like, go ahead and place your stuff on the thing. And of course, like, I've had nothing but bad experiences with that. So I was just like, yeah, that thing never works for me. And she goes, well, I'm here to make sure it works. It'll be all right. I said, I'm trying to get a Sip and Save drink. And I had my usual. Like right now, they've got a deal going at Circle K where if you get certain Circle K branded snacks, which are typically between $1.50 and $2, if you get that with a fountain drink, the item ends up being $1. And they do consider Sip and Save purchase of a fountain drink. So I end up getting, what I've been generally getting is sometimes I get other snacks, but generally I've been getting one of these beef sticks, which are, they were $1.50, but now I think they've gone up to I think they're like $1.59 now, maybe $1.69, something like that. I didn't get my receipt from the machine, but anyway, so I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a discount on that, and of course then I'm getting the functionally free drink. And the first thing she asked me is like, well, how long has it been since you renewed your Sip and Save? I said, I'm not sure offhand, but I'm reasonably sure it's still good. And she's like, well, okay, let's try it. And she rings, the computer rings me up, and then she asks what my phone number is. So she ends up putting my phone number. So again, like, I'm still, like, why am I even using the machine if you're the one that's still doing the work, which is weird because normally when I'm getting my stuff with the cashier, I'm the one putting my phone number in, but in this instance, it ends up being the cash. Somehow the cashier put my phone number in. I didn't see a prompt to do it, which to be fair, worked just fine. That worked just fine, and then she and it comes up. It does recognize that I have Sip and Save, and it's actually a little chilly out now that the sun has gone down. Wow, might be almost time to start wearing long sleeves again, or maybe even a little light hoodie. I have noticed a lot of my coworkers have been wearing their GYR3 hoodies again, which to me is funny. I don't know, a lot of Phoenix people, as soon as it gets down to like anything in the 70s, are like, oh, it's cold out here. It's not cold to me, but I gotta admit, it's a little, it does feel cool out right now. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's yeah, between the rain and the final, the changing of the seasons, and the fact that it's like midway through October, it's finally starting to cool off out here. Anyway, so yeah, it did recognize my Sip and Save, but it charged me full price for the beef steak. And I said, well, those are only, if I'm getting the drink, that's only supposed to be $1. See, you guys got the stickers over there on the fountain. And she goes, okay. I said, I never have I buy this every day. I get the free drink with the Sip and Save, and then that's still considered the purchase of a drink, and then I get the beef stick for $1. And she goes, well, go get another one, but don't place it on the thing. And I'm thinking, okay, that's odd. And I'm thinking, well, okay, not sure where we're going here. She goes, yeah, just go ahead and pay, and you just have them both. And I'm like, well, it's supposed to only be $1. Mind you, it's charging me like $1.59. And she's like, well, I don't have the authority to, she goes, I don't have access to authority to change it, to change any amounts in it. And I'm like, oh. I said, well, that's unfortunate since it's doing it wrong. And then I thought about it, and it was like, well, I didn't really want to get two, and I really only wanted to spend $1, but basically I was getting, I'm getting an even better deal on 2 beef sticks than I was on 1, and I'll eat the beef sticks. So yeah, it's actually kind of working out in my favor, but still, like, I feel like I kind of got pushed into buying a beef stick that I didn't really need to buy. And I'm still a little puzzled by why she thought that was the solution. Which functionally was her, approving me stealing the second beef stick. Why she thought that was the best solution, as opposed to just her canceling that sale and just ringing it up correctly and manually. But anyway, that's what happens. That's what happened. Now, I have heard some stuff on the news where the Arizona, I don't know what government agency enforces this, but some agency in Arizona has been going around and trying to check certain retailers to make sure that they're ringing items up at the prices that they're displayed at. In other words, like, since hardly anybody really uses price tags anymore, that kind of went away, decades ago. Most everything will be on a shelf with a little tag on the shelf that has the price and the item, and it might also have a number, saying what the UPC code is, what the barcode is for it. And obviously it's state law that if that's the price that's shown, that's the price you're supposed to charge. And there have been some investigations done showing that certain retailers are not doing very good, and I don't think they're doing it intentionally to rip off consumers, but just some retailers are just not doing so good at keeping the prices programmed into the POS systems in line with the prices that are displayed on the shelf for products. And inconsequently overcharging people, occasionally undercharging people, but most of the time overcharging people. And a lot of people just don't catch it. I mean, it would have been super easy for me to not catch this if I was buying a lot of items, but since, I mean, I was just simply getting a beef stick and a soda, where I'm on a program where I get the soda for free, like, I know that my total is $1, exactly $1. So the fact that it asked for more than $1 is like, yeah, that's not right. Anyway, I'm not sure where I read an article about it, or it could be something I heard on KTAR. I do listen to KTAR news radio quite a bit. But anyway, it was talking about different businesses that the city fined, or that the state, I think state of Arizona, fined for doing that. And the number one offender, if memory serves, was Circle K. And other ones that they mentioned was Fry's and Walmart. So yeah, when you're shopping, and I'm sure this is not just an Arizona thing, when you're shopping, pay attention. Pay attention to what the prices are supposed to be. Keep kind of a running total in your head, or even on an app on your smartphone, and watch your receipt. Watch what those prices ring up as, because a lot of times that stuff is not ringing up at the right price, and it really is the retailer's responsibility to give you the correct price. And I find it so weird that cashier, instead of doing that, just chose to basically, I got one beef stick for the $1, and then I got the second beef stick for 59 cents. I don't know, seemed like a weird solution to me, but it's a better deal on another beef stick. I'll take it. But anyway, I'm gonna go in. I feel I got time to at least sing one song. And I'm back. It is 6:28 p.m. Still Sunday evening, and I'm on my way to work at Amazon. Gosh, by the time I got in there, it was hardly time to do anything. But I did actually end up getting to sing almost 2 songs. One of them was just kind of a fluke. I got in there and somebody had put in Hosier, Take Me to Church, and I had just like barely sat down and asked the bartender for a Coke, and he started singing that song. Hadn't even had a chance to open up the browser on my Obama phone, or actually, when I go in there, I don't open the browser. I open a QR scanner app. I'm not sure which one I have. I genuinely don't like it, because it always puts up this screen that's trying to get me to buy the full-featured purchase version, and absolutely the only thing I ever use that app for is logging onto the karaoke there at Ozbar. So sometimes it's annoying to get the splash screen to go away, but it wasn't even to that point. I just kind of sat down and was trying to actually, my friend that came over last night had sent me a text message, so I was responding to her, and then out of nowhere, the guy that was singing Take Me to Church, like, I noticed as he started singing the song that he was getting a lot of the words wrong, to the point that it was kind of amusing, like, because sometimes he was just like making up mumbly kind of words, like a Joe Biden speech, and then other times he was just obviously saying the wrong words. To be fair, I find myself occasionally doing that when I don't know the words, the lyrics to songs when I'm singing karaoke, because at this point, my vision is so bad, I'm often struggling to read them clearly on the screen. So, especially over at Ozbar. So, to be fair, that could be what the guy was dealing with. But anyway, as soon as I got to the chorus, he's just like, "Oh, this is too fast. I can't do this." And he hands the mic back to the KJ. Okay, I don't know what is going on here, but I feel it is best avoided. Actually, it's probably just an emergency vehicle headed directly to me, but that's fine. I'll just, I got enough time. I'm just going to go south to, oh yeah, just an ambulance just passed me. I could have just pulled over and kept going, but up until he got close to me, it looked like there was some kind of an accident or something going on closer to 23rd Avenue, which I didn't want to deal with. But that's fine. I can just take this all the way way to Camelback. I enjoy driving on back roads. When I got the time for it, I find driving on back roads to be more enjoyable than driving down the big stroads that everybody else uses. And I feel like I got plenty of time right now. This should be Missouri. Wow, it's flooded a little bit over here. Take Missouri over to 23rd down to Camelback, and just get on I-17 at Camelback. So anyway, yeah, he dang, a little congested. Yeah, he said it was too fast, gave the microphone to the KJ, and then KJ's like, the KJ started to try to sing it, and then kind of realized that he didn't know it well enough to sing it, and then asked if anybody else was down to sing it, which there was hardly anybody there. But I'm just like, yeah, I can do it. I'll do it. Why not? You know, I like singing that song. I haven't sang it in quite a while. Certainly the last thing on my mind, and nothing I would have picked out to sing. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Once again, and it wasn't like this the last Sunday I went to karaoke at Ozbar, but the Sunday I went before, the music was way too low. Now, I've explained several times, but I'll explain it again in case you missed it. I'm not really fond of the way they do the sound at Ozbar. And basically what they're doing, which to me just seems absolutely nonsensical, but that's how they do it, is they've got the output of a laptop computer running the Carafun streaming service going into their TouchTunes jukebox as an auxiliary input. They set the volume on the TouchTunes jukebox in the various zones. So the background music is playing through all the jukebox speakers, which are little Bose speakers. They're okay, but they're kind of lacking in bass. But they're located all over the bar. And then they've got like a proper PA that they've got the mics going to. They do have very good quality mics. I don't know what brand they are. One of these days, I really want to ask if one of the KJs will let me kind of get a closer look at it and see what it is, because whatever they are, I'm very impressed with them and would consider buying the same models for myself. I really do need new mics. My mics are so beaten down. Well, I mean, my AKG is still in great shape, but it's such a low-end AKG, and it occasionally has interference problems, and I'd like to have something nicer, even though karaoke isn't making me much money these days. Anyway, they've got those going into a different PA that's in a cabinet, so I've never really seen what the gear is, but it feeds two separate PVPA speakers, one that's located in the front corner of the bar, one that's located in the back corner of the bar. It seems like half the time the one in the back corner isn't on, but the one in the front corner is, which of course is not really near any of the speakers that are playing the music. So you've got your voice coming from a separate speaker, completely different equalization, at a completely different level. And yeah, so it's mixing ambiently in the room, you know, the sound of the vocals coming out the one speaker and the sound of the backing tracks coming out of a bunch of other speakers. So of course the balance is going to be, you know, the balance between vocalist and backing is going to be different everywhere. And as a singer, like, it can be, you can't really hear how well your voice is blending with the music, and it's going to be different no matter where you're standing in the room anyway. Now for me, since I'm often struggling to see the lyrics and they only have it on one TV, I find myself having to get right under that TV just so I can see what the lyrics are. And then of course when I get there, I can't hear the backing music very well, even when it is up. Anyway, today he just had it really, really low. I feel like I did all right singing "Take Me to Church," but definitely my voice was just overpowering it, just because that's how he had it set up. Well, I was trying to hold the mic a little farther away from myself, but I still feel like he just had the music so down low that just no matter what, I was overpowering it. The other song I put in, this might be way too cliche for me to sing, or maybe patronizing to sing at a gay bar, but I had to go there because it was just recently released by karaoke version, which is what the TerraFun streaming service is. I did "I'm Super" from the South Park movie, which was fun. I could barely hear the backing track at all, so I think it kind of ruined it. But I got a feeling it's something I will actually enjoy at some point, singing at my own show, although I don't really see me singing at Bullocks. But yeah, I felt like it was kind of wasn't what it could be, because I couldn't really hear the backing track, and of course there's backing vocals in it, which, you know, as me singing the role of Big Gay Al, I'm trying to interact with, but whatever. Hey, at least I've been able to preview that track. I think right now it's in my karaoke version shopping cart. I haven't actually purchased it yet. I'm just shy of 10 tracks in there right now. I'll probably complete a purchase before my next show on Thursday. I still haven't managed to get hold of Raina and get a functional, what do you call it? Functional Wi-Fi access that works for when I'm at Bullocks. So I'm kind of half expecting my next show is going to be like my last show, where I have no internet access while I'm doing my show. So I need to make sure that whatever I'm purchasing, that I get it purchased while my system is set up at home, and I can download it nice and quickly on my home Wi-Fi. So yeah, really not much else to say. Kind of bummed that I wasn't able to shoot video on the rest of my walk down 32nd Street. Not that there was much that y'all missed. It was a pretty uneventful walk. I mean, I had one random asshole on Thomas Road honk at me, because, you know, that's what you're supposed to do when you see somebody walking. Oh, look at that guy, cutting him off. Did y'all see that? I cut across the gore area to cut off this SUV in front of me. And to be fair, the SUV in front of me is driving ridiculously slow. We're at under 40 miles per hour right now on a ramp that's easily done at 55. I can't say I've ever noticed what the sign recommends the speed for this as, but I usually do it at 55, sometimes faster. So, kind of bewildered. Absolutely no messages from Priscilla since I left the bar. I'm feeling kind of like an ass about that, but I don't know. Just going to her place and her wanting to cuddle with me on the couch, but not wanting me to touch her at all, just doesn't sit well with me. I mean, she knows what she does to me sexually, and that I'm a grown man. I'm not down for that kind of tease. It's just unacceptable behavior. It just is what it is. And I've told her that, and apparently it's falling on deaf ears. So that alone may be a reason I need to move on. And of course, the fact that she's already let her apartment, kind of go to hell is, that was part of the thing. She had talked about how, well, I want us to be more, and I want us to have our own place together. Before I can have my own place together, I need you to demonstrate that you can actually take care of a home. And so far, I've seen no evidence of that. So, but hey, she does have her own place, and it is a rather nice apartment, and it's in a pretty nice little hidden complex, which I dig. So let's see. Yeah, the walk over from my place. The bus never did. I never did see a bus the entire walk from 46th Street to 32nd Street. I crossed the street at 34th Street, where there is a marked crosswalk. It doesn't have a hawk, but there's a very well marked crosswalk, like what the Europeans like to call a zebra crossing, which Phoenix doesn't have very many of. And then, you know, about a car length in front of it in both directions, it's got the little yield, the little triangles, the row of triangles, which I guess means yield. That's kind of a new marking for streets in Phoenix. I remember when they first started throwing those out across streets, I'm like, what the hell does that mean? But I guess that means yield, or that's where you're supposed to stop when you yield to, to whatever you're yielding to. And I think there are signs, that say yield to pedestrians or whatever. But as a general rule, Phoenix drivers don't yield to pedestrians in crosswalks, even when the people in the crosswalk have a walk signal. So I was absolutely bewildered when I crossed the street that a very large truck and another vehicle heading eastbound on Thomas actually stopped for me. I mean, I had stopped in the middle of the street and was expecting for them to whiz by and me to just cross behind them. So that was a nice, pleasant surprise. I would have liked to have caught that on camera. I mean, yeah, I love I love highlighting all the bad drivers in Phoenix, and at some point I want to, now that I'm getting better at doing video editing, I want to put together a compilation of bad Phoenix drivers. I'm sure I could put 30 minutes easily of just people doing incredibly stupid things, including but not limited to that guy that just cut across the gore area and cut off, someone on the ramp there onto I-10 from I-17. But yeah, it is nice sometimes to actually get footage of drivers doing the right thing when it's an uncommon thing, such as stopping for a pedestrian in a crosswalk. So that happened. I did walk by Set Moses' recording studio. Didn't look like anybody was there, although I didn't, walk up and peek in. But just walking by it. It's been so long since I've done that walk that I had kind of forgot about him. And maybe I should shoot him an email, or maybe I should just try to swing by this time when he's there. But yeah, that was kind of a reminder of I never heard back from him, because he did seem pretty genuine about having me sing some hooks on some of the stuff he's producing. So, and I'm something I'm certainly down to. And I would love to see him and some of those artists come up to Bullocks. And although generally speaking, I kind of tend to discourage people performing their own music and people freestyling at karaoke, because most of the time it just ends up being a train wreck. But I feel like Set Moses runs a professional enough operation, and the rappers that he has, from what I've heard, are good enough that if he was to hook me up with actual backing tracks, and they were actual backing tracks, not tracks with vocals in them that the people are lip syncing over, because I'm really not cool with that. If he was to send me some actual backing tracks, so I had them ready, I would certainly be down to let his artists perform their own stuff at my show. That would be cool as hell. As long as, of course, they're there supporting the bar. Anyway, yeah, I need to touch base with him, for sure. I can't think of anything else that really happened on the walk worth mentioning. Other than, pretty uneventful walk, actually. Other than, again, I do believe every single bus stop that I passed had somebody waiting at it. And of course that bus definitely didn't run, because it would have passed me if it was running, which, what I saw in the app pretty much told me it wasn't running. But if it was running, of course it would have passed me, I don't know, somewhere around 40th Street-ish. And yeah, it never did. So that's a whole lot of walking to not see a bus whatsoever. So yeah, Phoenix City of Phoenix just failing miserably at public transit, as always. Speaking of City of Phoenix and transit and stuff, still getting comments and replies to comments that I left in the video that I mentioned a couple weeks ago that some British YouTuber did about things that the City of Phoenix is doing to try to reduce the heat here. And it was a pretty long and involved video to just basically showcase the gray paint they're putting on residential streets, which is hardly being done anywhere. Like, it's a test program, but they're really not doing much of it. What is this idiot doing on the left side of the road? Apparently he's passing. That was weird. Yeah, speaking of that, actually I was thinking of that paint as I passed by. I did see several, commercial spaces that were vacant, including one that had quite the little homeless encampment going on in front of it. Just west of 36th Street. But I did see another new business that had located in a spot that had been vacant for quite some time. As AAA Auto Center, which I'm assuming has some kind of connection with the AAA roadside assistant plans. Which reminds me, I think I need to renew my AAA membership. I think I was on Priscilla's, and I'm pretty sure she's canceled me from it. And that's something I definitely want, as unreliable as this sphere. It's been very reliable lately, but it's just that call a phone number and get a tow truck thing has certainly saved my ass many times, and it's something I can definitely afford. So it always seems to save me money in the long run. Considering how difficult and expensive a tow truck can be when you don't have any kind of towing plan. Anyway, yeah, I noticed that one of the places that had been sitting empty for quite a while now had a AAA Automotive Center in it. And rather than redo the kind of worn out parking lot that was in front of it, they had just put a coating on it, which I'm sure kind of helped chip seal it. It certainly made it look nicer, and they repainted the stripes. But it really caught my eye that the coating that they used was black. And I mean dark jet, just black. And I was thinking to myself as I was looking at it that, wow, that while it makes it look better, it makes it that much worse for the whole heat island effect, which is a problem in the Phoenix area. And I was thinking to myself, man, why, when people are coating parking lots like that to try to make them nicer, I found myself wondering why they almost always use that black coating, which increases the heat island effect, as opposed to using the gray coating, the light gray white coating, which reflects the light and reduces the heat island effect. Just a random thought as I was walking by it, and thinking that that might actually be beneficial if the city, and generally speaking, I'm not in favor of municipalities forcing things on business owners, but I think it would be really like, I don't know the cost difference between coating it in black and coating it in white. If it's cost prohibitive to do it white, then that makes sense, where business owners wouldn't want to do it. That makes sense. But assuming that they're both roughly the same expense, it would make sense to me if that was something that Phoenix and other Valley municipalities required as a matter of code. That if you put a coating on your parking lot, that it must be the white or the light gray that reduces the heat island effect, as opposed to allowing them to use the black, which increases the heat island effect. Anyway, that's not why I was mentioning that video, but just mentioning that video kind of reminded me of like what I was seeing as I was walking by and what I was thinking of as I saw it. But I wonder why this guy's struggling to get into that parking spot. That was weird. Um, yeah, anyway, I got, somebody left a bunch of comments, some of which were directed to me and some were just left in threads that I had commented in. But one was specifically addressed to threat to me, saying that, oh, definitely nobody in Phoenix enjoys the sprawl when they leave their home. And to be honest, I kind of do. And I know I'm not the only one. And it just seems to me, if you really hate sprawl, why would you come here? And I don't have time to dive into a whole discussion about sprawl. I really need to get in and clock in and get to work. But I said, that I enjoy it, and I do, and I can explain that later, and I want to explain that later. But he came back with a response to me, and the best I can sum up his response to me, and I want to get back to this later because it's interesting. I'd love to read it for y'all, and I want to have a well-worded response to his response. But that response to me was a really good example of, tell me you've never been in Phoenix. Tell me you've never lived or been in Phoenix without telling me you've never been in or lived in Phoenix. And anyway, hopefully I'll get back to that subject later. But thank you for coming with me on the drive.